What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video we're taking a look at the Shadow Hills mastering compressor because this is now available from Plugin Boutique, and it's also available for just $24.95 right now. So if you're already familiar with this plugin, I will have a link in the description if you want to check it out at that $24.95 price. And if you're not familiar with this plugin, then let's go over the controls, and of course I'll let you hear what it sounds like. So this is the big bad mastering compressor from Shadow Hills. If you haven't seen the hardware unit, I think it's like 6U or something. It's a massive compressor. I've been in a couple studios here in Nashville that has had or have the hardware here. But this plugin, all these knobs and buttons on it, I will say while it is a very good compressor, it definitely has a learning curve to it, and I feel like even professional engineers will take a look at this and just look at all these buttons and knobs and everything and be like, no, I'm good. As I was for a while before I really sat down and learned how to use this. All right, so let's check it out. So there's actually two compressors in this compressor. There's a VCA compressor and a optical compressor, and they work in series. So starting at the top, we have the optical threshold, which would be for the optical compressor, and then we have the optical gain, which is going to be the makeup gain for that compressor, and we can turn the optical in and out. And then below that, we have discrete, which is going to be the VCA compressor. With this one, you can set the ratio, attack, release, and threshold and makeup gain. Now you can have the discrete in or out and the opto in or out. So you can do just the opto or just the discrete. You also have a side chain here at 90 Hertz, and up here in the upper right, you can adjust that even further. And going back up to the top, so the metering here, you have optical. You can monitor the optical, the discrete, or the output. You've got a switch to go between dual mono and stereo. One thing I will say I don't like about this is that even though it's when it's in stereo, it is linked, but as you can see, I can move this and it's not moving on the left side. I would just prefer for it to move on that left side, but it is linked even though you're controlling just half here, or even though it's not responding on the other side. The only one that does respond is these transformer options here. If you are familiar with Shadow Hills, a lot of their gear, or I'll say some of their gear, the mic pre is what I'm really referring to, has this option between the nickel, steel, and nickel, steel, and iron are the three different transformer output options that you have here, just to really give you a different tone on the output. All right, so many buttons and knobs here. I think we got them all. Yeah, and then we have a hardware bypass here in the middle. All right, so let's check this out. I've got some vocals here from Simone Curry. And here, let's turn off the discrete for now, and we'll use just the optical, and we'll make sure. Another thing I don't like is with the metering, I also wish that this was linked. So I'm in stereo, but I can go optical, discrete, output, and it does not link on the right side. I have to go to the right side and click it to make it match. So that is pretty annoying here. But we'll set this to optical, and let's start out with the optical. And then of course we'll listen to the discrete, and then we'll listen to it all together, and then we'll wrap up going through these three transformer options.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah. Before the pressure's on my mind, I gotta take a look at my gut. And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been good to me. You're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete. No, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me. You're so good to me.
All right, so that's on the nickel setting, which is the cleanest one. And I definitely feel like the vocal sounds a little flat with it bypassed. It's definitely adding that mixed bus compression glue that I like to hear from mixed bus or mastering compressors. Let's turn off the optical and let's go down to the discrete, which has more control. We're just, I think I changed some stuff from what I had dialed in. That should be good. All right, so now let's check out the discrete.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah.
I say I forgot, so I'm still metering optical. I need to switch over to discrete to monitor that.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah. Before the pressure's on my mind, I gotta take a look at my gut. And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way.
All right, also doing a good job of handling the dynamics there. Let's put them both in now and hear them both together.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah. Before the pressure's on my mind, I gotta take a look at my gut. And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me. You're so good to me.
So I definitely feel like the vocals come more in your face with the compressor engaged. So that's with the optical and discrete together. Now let's go through these three transformer options: the nickel, iron, and the steel. Like I said, the nickel is the cleanest. We've been listening to that, so we'll focus more on this iron and steel. But we'll start out with the nickel.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah. Before the pressure's on my mind, I gotta take a look at my gut. And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I never know how I in the world you've been. Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah, yeah. Good to me, good to me, good to me. You're so good to me.
All right, so on this track between those two, I prefer the iron. It just had a little more high end, and I don't like the high end. I feel like I'm losing when I switch to steel. You know, I feel like steel has a bigger low end on it. For this, I kind of want to keep that brightness on the top end, so I prefer iron on this. All right, so there's a look at the Shadow Hills mastering compressor. What is cool about this is because it is two compressors, we can use this really, if you want to just use an opto compressor on a vocal, even though this is a stereo, you can put that on a vocal bus or something and use it just for optical, or you can even put it on drums and use it just as a VCA compressor on like drum bus. But I like it together, which is a little strange because I generally don't like to stack compressors on tracks. I know that's a technique for some people to do, serial compression. I normally get everything I want out of one compressor. I don't put 2-3 compressors on a track. But with this, and I've never done that on mix bus, but with this, having the optical and VCA working together in series, I think provides a really nice glue sound that you typically want from mix bus or mastering compressor. So I am a fan of this. So if you have this, definitely comment and let me know how do you like it and what you've been using it on. And if you want to pick this up, like I said, for the $24.95 that is available right now on Plug-in Boutique, I will have a link in the description if you want to check it out, learn more about it, or pick it up. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.